Hi, and welcome to another tutorial from Ninja Academy. There are many methods to segment a video, but they all boil down to three basic methods: XXL segmenting, individual segment cutting, and continuous segment cutting. Let's go over each method. The first method is XXL segmenting. The idea behind this method is to create an extra long segment for an entire scene or video part. After creating the XXL segment, we rewind to the beginning of the segment. Then, we cut the XXL segment into smaller, more appropriate segments until we reach the end. The pros: this method is the best for making sure you have no micro gaps. Micro gaps are tiny gaps between segments that cause annoying flashing between subtitles. This method is also one of the fastest methods for new segmenters to learn. The cons: while cutting the segment down into smaller pieces, you have to remember to delete empty segments that don't have voice or text in them. In addition, we know that wiki bugs or computer crashes can occur in the middle of segmenting a part. With the XXL method, you have one XXL segment you are cutting. If anything happens and the page crashes while you are segmenting, you've left a huge segment on the video. Getting back in as soon as possible to fix this is very important so that subtitles can be entered correctly. If for some reason you can't get back in, it's a good idea to leave a message in discussions for your fellow segmenters to take over. The second method is individual segment cutting. Using this method, segments are cut and perfected one at a time as the video plays. The pros: you can be sure that each segment is timed perfectly before moving on to the next. You also don't need to worry so much about empty segments as in the XXL method. Finally, if the segment timer crashes, your work will be saved as it is, and someone can continue segmenting the part you left behind without problems. The cons: this method is a bit more time-consuming and slower for new segmenters. You also need sound knowledge in the use of the keyboard shortcuts when adjusting segments. You must be very cautious in leaving micro gaps. However, once you have practiced this method a lot, it can be just as fast as any other method. The final method is continuous segmenting. Although it is similar in some ways to the XXL method and the individual segmenting method, this method is different. Using this method, you cut the segments without the segment timer pausing. After segmenting a scene or video using continuous segmenting, we must go back and perfect each segment. The pros: this method allows you to do basic segment cuts quickly. If you're segmenting in a language you understand and can detect the pattern of the speakers, this is an easy method to use because you can anticipate the speaker's lines and cut each segment to fit. The cons: this method is the worst offender for microgaps. It requires that you go back and review the video. It also can leave badly timed segments if you were to get disconnected from the website. So, those were the three basic methods. Try each of them out, see which one you're most comfortable with, and adapt it to your own style of segmenting. No one method is right or wrong, but simply a preference you have when segmenting.